Hello there fellow Call of Duty players, thanks for checking out this Call of Duty Black Ops 4 video. I feel your pain, and these are the 20 things that I really can't stand about Call of Duty Black Ops 4. At number 20 we have the Vapor, or as I like to call it, the Vaporizer. This is an assault rifle in Call of Duty Black Ops 4, however I think it's probably in between an assault rifle and SMG. It's good at absolutely all ranges, no attachments, 4 attachments. This gun is an absolute beast, and as far as I can see, there is no other reason to use any other gun other than the Vaporizer, and therefore it lands itself at number 20. At number 19 we have the spawn system, which is poor in all Call of Duties. However, in Call of Duty Black Ops 4 I think it's probably at its worst. In fact, Ghosts I think had a better spawn system than this game. Spawns in this game, you seem to spawn on top of the enemy. Their spawn is your spawn and your spawn is their spawn. On some maps it's worse than others, however on all maps it's pretty bad. I remember literally aiming my gun after I spawned and 2 enemies spawned directly in front of me about 300 meters away. Absolutely ridiculous, shouldn't be a thing. Spawns should be protected by walls, and other like long range shots should be avoided. I shouldn't be able to snipe somebody just after a spawn. That's why it lands itself at number 19 on my countdown. At number 18 we have the colour system, which is quite frankly in this game absolutely appalling. It's disgusting, it makes me sick looking at all the colours. Every time I look at this game I think I'm watching an episode of Art Attack, which is not how the game should look. I appreciate that it's not based on realism, but yet it's not based on a cartoon strip either. At number 17 we have the maps with no flow. In most Call of Duty games the maps have about 3 run-throughs. However in this game there are no run-throughs at all. It is just corridor after corridor, room after room. There is no flow, people are going to be absolutely everywhere, and that just makes a game which isn't really fun, and you can't really predict the enemy's movements, and that takes away some of the skill. At number 15 I think it's worth a mention of the massive update files and the download files. Not really going to harp on about this too much because it's quite dependent on your internet speed, but the files are absolutely humongous. No other Call of Duty previous has had update files this big, so why does this game need update files so big if no other one has? It just proves that the game was broken on release and now they're trying to go back and edit those files. At number 14 we have Forced Choice. I like a game with a lot of perks, a lot of weapons. However this game, there's about 4 assault rifles, 4 submachine guns and 4 sniper rifles. That's it, you might as well use a Vaporizer because that's the only gun worth using. All the perk systems, there's about 4 or 3 perks in each tier. Gone are the days of Call of Duty games where everybody was using a different weapon. If you remember Call of Duty 4, everybody would have their own preference on assault rifle. Yes, the M16 and M4 would kind of dominate the playing field, yet other people might use SMGs constantly. In this game I feel like we're all using assault rifles because SMGs just don't do enough damage. At number 13 we have, again, the map systems. I think the only good maps are the ones from previous Call of Duty games. They've been revamped a tiny bit, nothing too major, which is a good point. However, they're the only good maps that are worth playing. And from a new game, should we really be looking forward just to playing the old maps? Probably not. I think that says quite a lot about the new maps and how they don't have any flow. At number 12 we have, after every single gunfight I feel like I'm forced to press L1 because I've taken some damage. I appreciate that they're trying to change up the game mechanics, but in previous Call of Duties the time to kill has been perfectly fine. I've never complained about the time to kill in any other Call of Duty apart from this one. Every gunfight you have to press L1, otherwise you're basically done. And that takes about 2 seconds of your time where you could be shooting another enemy. In all honesty, I feel like those triple sprays, those quad sprays are just a thing of the past because the time to kill and the fact you have to press L1 every other second just defeats the object of the game. At number 11 we have the fact that only 5 people show up in the pre-match startup screen when there are 6 in the lobby. I don't have anything else to say about that, but why can't they just put 6 characters on the screen? Why are there only 5 when there's 6 people in the lobby? Doesn't really make too much sense. At number 10 we have the servers. They are old and basically pathetic. Their refresh rates are really low in comparison with other modern games. Absolutely horrendous. This should not be the case in 2018. They should be providing servers that are functional and operational to our needs. However, they do not. If you ever look at a kill cam and think, well, that's not what happened on my screen, that's probably because it is. At number 9, we have the abilities. We are giving poor players and bad players basically really good kill streaks. For example, having the dog, which lasts for about 45 seconds, it can absolutely tear up. Why are we even rewarding bad players? In previous Call of Duties, that could be done with kill streaks. For example, the care package, you would get a chance of getting a half decent kill streak in, and that will satisfy them. Now we're giving people abilities that they can use guaranteed every single game at least once. I just don't agree with it. But yet I need to get 6 kills just for a UAV, and then another 10 nukes on firing range just to see a counter. See you next Tuesday. Does not make sense. At number 8, we have the character models. They all look like superheroes. We are playing a military game. Why do they not look like just usual military people? I think that makes it look a little bit more realistic than superheroes jumping around, grappling around buildings. At number 7, we have Ghost. Let's just remove it. We've been complaining about Ghost or it's similar for around about 10 years now. I wish they would just remove it or put it in a place where, for example, Stop and Power and Ghost, same perk 2, it worked a treat, because if you had Ghost, you basically couldn't kill anyone else. I think that works. However, in this game, it's a perk 3, and under perk 3, there's nothing really that is worth using other than Ghost, so your UAV is pointless. At number 6, we have, why are grenades and stuns not on every single character? I'm pretty sure in the military, like I say again, I appreciate this game is not based on realism, I understand that, but surely having a grenade and a stun is basically mandatory, and it has been in every single Call of Duty since day one. I don't understand why they would take that out and their justification for doing so. We are now down to the top 5 things that I hate about this game, and at number 5 we have the textures. Why do they take 30 seconds to load on a PlayStation 4 Pro? This is not a PlayStation 3, this is a PlayStation 4 Pro. How did this even pass like the initial validation of the game? How can textures not load in straight away? I'd much rather have a loading screen that takes 15 seconds where the map and everything is loaded in than load in and see Minecraft. And at number 4 we have the textures once more. Up close they look absolutely abysmal. I appreciate that it's not as bad as Call of Duty Ghosts. However, next time you play the game, just find the nearest car and have a look at the headlight and come back to the video and tell me what you think. At number 3, it's quite generic, but what happened to variety of weapons, perks, player customization? Everything just looks the same now, and it's a real shame. I think previous Call of Duties have had it right where we customize basically everything. I think that adds a more in-depth experience, whereas this game, everybody's using the same stuff because there's no variety. At number 2, it's basically linked to the previous one. However, if you use one weapon, you've basically used them all. If you've used the ICR, you've used every single weapon in the game. There's no variety, there's no variation. If you can remember Call of Duty 4, you would get to level 55 and you would unlock the abysmal MP44. That gun was so different than any other gun. Find me a gun in this game that is like that. You won't be able to find it. And the thing you've all been waiting for, number 1 in the top 20 things I hate in this game, the audio is absolutely abysmal. If you play Blackout Till You Back Out, players sound like they're walking on top of you, yet they're like 300 meters away. What is going on with the audio in this game? Sometimes it sounds like we're in a tin can, other times it's quite crisp and clear. Why are there so many variations to audio? Surely somebody walking 10 meters away in multiplayer should be the same in Blackout. However, it's not. Players in Blackout, you can hear them from about 300 meters away. I've changed all the settings. They don't do anything. Why?